Welcome in episode number 109 of the St0ner Sports Radio Podcast on YouTube. We're live on Twitch this afternoon. We are going to recap Week 13 for y'all. We had some Thanksgiving games to go over, followed by games on Saturday that we will recap. And we are currently watching Georgia and Alabama in the SEC title game. We will definitely talk about the college football playoff that is taking shape now. You and LSU played on Saturday. Zach will get you caught up with that and all things Thunder. We have NFL talk, the playoff picture coming back into view, and we'll visit the sports book. We'll recap our Thanksgiving picks. We'll give you some of our picks for this NFL upcoming weekend, and we'll have your final thoughts to close things out. How we doing, Mr. Zach, on a Be Happy Saturday?
We're doing good. OU's in the playoff. We assume. I don't think any trickery can happen at not so U out. So we're just waiting for Sunday, tomorrow, to see exactly where everybody lands on Selection Sunday here. I'm sure you're feeling good about Oregon. Got a win over Washington. Got in there, probably going to solidify themselves like a top 6 ranking. How you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. I mean, look, I thought losing both of our coordinators was going to be something that the college football playoff might penalize us for. I'm glad they didn't. I'm very glad they didn't. And I'm glad they'll be coaching in the playoff. They're not going to be leaving for their new teams just yet. But yeah, I'm feeling okay. I mean, I don't really want to play Tulane. I don't really want to play. I mean, after last night, I watched that game. It was a little intimidating, just a little bit.
Yeah, I did it because it's looking like OU's going to have to play either Notre Dame or Alabama. I don't know if I want to play either of those games either. So it's not looking too bright, and I'm almost guaranteed Ohio State in round 2. So.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping you'd match up with Tech in round 2 if you got through round 1, because I think that would be a really fun thing to look at. I mean, just having both of those ex-Big 12 teams going at it, I think that would be a matchup for the ages. But yeah, no, lots to go over here. Let's start with Thursday, or I should say Friday's games, the day after Thanksgiving. Look, Indiana took care of Purdue. That was a snooze fest, 56-3. Another fantastic showing for the Heisman Trophy frontrunner Fernando Mendoza. Nothing really short of spectacular for him. He didn't throw for more yards than Ryan Brown did for the Boilermakers, but that was because they were behind the whole game. So he had to throw a little bit more. They just didn't need him. But it's all about efficiency with Fernando. He's very efficient as per usual. Ole Miss took care of Mississippi State by 21. Another snoozer. We kind of thought that one was going to be a little bit more competitive. It just wasn't. Utah took care of Kansas. This one was actually one where I felt like Kansas just kind of let it slip through their fingers. A pick 6 late, deep inside Utah territory, inside the 15, really sealed that one. Had a chance to go in there and take the lead 28-24, and then pick 6 City, and it just never. Kansas just never got the ball going offensively after that. It was sad, but expected result. Arizona over Arizona State. This one was kind of shocking to me, Zach. We thought Arizona State might be Big 12 champions this year, and it just never materialized.
Yeah, I think it was one, Sam Levitt not playing up to expectations, and just them missing Cam Scatterbo from this offense. They just aren't the same. And I think it showed in this game a lot. There are only points coming in one lone touchdown in the second quarter, not being able to get points at all the rest of the game. This team just didn't deserve that number 20 ranking, and that's been proven. So Arizona, expecting them to move up a little bit, and Arizona State should probably be unranked in the next bowl.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. It just again, just disappointing. Just disappointing. Georgia Tech, Zach. I mean, look, this game is always kind of a rock throwing contest. It seems like they had that 8 overtime game a couple years ago, or was that last year? I think it was last
Mhm.
year, and that was a high scoring affair. You go that deep in that many 2 point conversion attempts. I mean, imagine if it had been the old style. It would have been like that 77-72 game that was it A&M and and was it A&M Arkansas that went that long, or was it was A&M and
I want to
somebody?
say, I want to say Indiana was involved.
Really?
Say so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but yeah, I mean, this was just
Oh no,
ugly.
A&M and LSU they went to like 7
Yeah, that
overtimes.
that was that was the one I'm thinking of, where it was like like going into overtime, it was what, like 28 to something, or 35 or 38 to something going. It's
Yeah, it ended up
tied at
being
38. Yeah,
70,
38 going into the
77
overtime.
to 72.
Yeah, so but that's what it would have been if it wasn't the new style where it's just 2 point conversions after the first two overtimes. So they've been in tight ones, and this was another tight one. It just Haynes King just couldn't get the offense going, and you just have to credit Georgia's defense really. Um, Only allowing field goals is a big thing for a defense, and you know what good defense looks like as an OU fan, so you're not
Oh yeah.
unaccustomed to seeing teams struggle offensively, and that's just what the Yellow Jackets did, and they just couldn't pull it out.
No, no, they couldn't. You know what? Georgia's looking really good right now. Against Alabama, that defense is stepping the run really well. Just forced another three and out.
Yeah,
I think Alabama's really going to be missing Jam Miller in this one.
yeah, that could be a factor, and I need them to lose. I need Miami to have a shot, Zach. I need Miami to have a shot, so I'm
Yeah, I want Georgia to win this one. Just not knock Alabama out of there.
yeah. I just want them to. I just want their fans to shut up. To be honest, just shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. Um, uh, Texas A&M and Texas, Zach. This one was kind of disappointing as far as entertainment factor to me,
Mhm.
because the game was never really as close it felt as the score looks. It's like you look at a 10 point game and you go, oh, probably pulled away real late. Texas seemed to be in control of this game from the jump, Zach. They just didn't seem to be in it, and Marcel Reed didn't play well and played himself out of a Heisman Trophy conversation, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he was 20 for 32, 180 yards, two interceptions. Just not going to be good enough to beat that Texas defense. And I mean, the offense stalled, a lot in the first quarter, and then coming out of the second half, they stalled once again. They, got a touchdown late in the fourth quarter, but it just wasn't going to be enough. Wisner for Texas is a NFL running back, in my opinion. He's been playing really well all year, and he showed out in this game with 19 carries, 155 yards. Um,
Can I can
Now Texas thinks they deserve to be in the playoff.
Ridiculous. Shut up. Shut up.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Just shut up, Texas fans. Just shut up. Um, yeah, no, they yeah, it ain't happening. Um, Look, I mean that kind of wraps up the Friday games as far as what happened after Thanksgiving, and they were. I mean, overall, I thought the slate was pretty good. I'm always down for football after eating, so I'm not going to be one to complain. Um, Going into Saturday, my Oregon Ducks are taking on Washington. A good game from Dante Moore. 20 of 29, 286 and a touchdown. We kind of controlled this game from the jump. I mean, we were up 13-7 at half. It looked like we were kind of struggling offensively, but in the second half, the defense really locked in. A good 12-point win. And covered the spread. It was a good effort from the boys, and we just needed this win. We just needed it going in, and needed to build on. Yeah, we needed to win something ugly. This was not really a pretty win for us. Um, and I guess now looking back on it, you can probably call the Penn State an ugly win too. It probably shouldn't have gone overtime considering what
Yeah.
that team ended up being. So I mean, we've been able to win some of these games in the mud, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Um, Ohio State, Michigan, the game, Zach, the game. Well, we were talking about how Michigan kind of has been owning Ohio State in this, but me and you just knew that like this was the year that was going to end. Like the talent gap was just too
Yeah.
far, and the you would have to have had 22 players piss down their legs for 4 straight quarters, and there's just too much talent for all of those guys to do that simultaneously. I mean, even if like Julian Saint had pissed down his leg for 4 quarters, their running game, I mean, Bo Jackson, fantastic game, 117 yards. You could have leaned on him. You didn't need Saint to throw for 233. Let's say he had thrown for 133. I mean, he could have done that, and it would have been just fine. That's how good this team is, and Michigan just doesn't have the dogs this year.
Yeah, no, I mean that defense couldn't stop anything throughout the entire game, and then the offense just completely stalled in the second half. Just left, Michigan with no options.
Yeah.
You obviously you have Julian Sand going for 233, 3 touchdowns, only 7 incompletions in this one, going 19 for 26. Bo Jackson, 22 carries,
Oof.
117 yards. I mean, he was just
He's a
disgusting
problem.
this
He's a
entire game.
problem.
And then Darnell Tate goes for 82 yards and a touchdown. I mean, we didn't see a ton
Ooh.
of Jeremiah Smith in this one, but we didn't need him. I mean, that's how Ohio State was feeling in this one. And then Ryan Day finally gets his win that he's desperately needed. Even if he wins another national championship this year, if he lost to Michigan, his job might have been in trouble.
Yeah, and we were talking about that last year as well. The same time last year, we were talking about how, you know, that loss last year could that cost him, and obviously he saved it by finishing the job, right? And a lot of people thought that was crazy, but we'll say it again. I mean, it is true for Ohio State fans and Buckeye Nation. They care about that game more than they care about a lot of things. They don't care about this game today. They don't care if they lose to Indiana today. They beat Michigan last week. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like they just don't care. And especially technically, they don't have to care. They don't have to care. This is a pride thing. If you want to win this game, you can, but it doesn't matter if they lose by 40. They're in. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter what happens today. Both of those teams are in. So I mean, that game is the last game of what I would call the regular season before the playoff that they're going to care about.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think that. I mean, seriously, Indiana could blow out Ohio State 70-0, and Ohio State's still number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Going into the
Yep.
playoff. So,
100%.
yeah, I don't think that game matters at all. And honestly, if I'm Ohio State, I might rest a couple of guys. I don't know if I'm too concerned about Indiana, anyways. But I think Indiana's definitely going to play for this one
Yeah. Oh,
tonight. So
absolutely.
it'd be interesting to see because if Indiana beats Ohio State, then all of a sudden we got Indiana number 1. That I mean that's something for Kurt Cinetti, and he
Oh,
obviously got his extension already. I mean,
yeah.
but what does the future of this Indiana program look like? I mean,
I mean, his brother's the
is this
backup,
is this
so I
going to
mean, it's
be?
yeah. I mean, his brother's the backup, so we're just continuing the excellent quarterback play. That's probably in the cards. I would expect that this helps NIL a bunch. I would expect that it obviously helps recruiting a crap ton. And by the way,
Yeah, is
number
this going to be
it,
like a powerhouse in the future?
I mean, I think it depends on what happens today. I really do. I think that's why I think, like you said, Indiana's going to care a lot more because the perception of that program kind of rests on what happens this evening. Because if they lose by 40, then the talk will be they're just like every other team in the Big Ten, just not there yet. Like they're just not. The conversation will be they're not on. No one's on that level. But if they beat Ohio State by 2 possessions today, they can say, yeah, we can hang with them. But it'll depend on, like you said, how much pride do the Buckeyes have.
Yeah, I mean this is a huge one for Indiana. I think, like you said, I mean the reputation of the program's on the line here. They can beat Ohio State. They might set themselves up for 5-10 years of great recruiting.
I mean, Kurt does kind of give that Jim Tressel energy, like instead of the sweater vest, it's just like the, normal day to day look, I don't know. It's that kind of vibe, so you could see, there's a lot of similarities between where, you know, Ohio State was before JT got there, and you look at where they're at now. Could this be kind of a timeline for Indiana that's along those same lines? It could be something like that, but it does, like I said, hinge on how they perform today. I mean, even if they lose on a last second field goal today, that's still a win in my opinion for Indiana. Can I say that?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because and I think that would still put them in that they would be still able to be like, we can, we're there. We just got unlucky. One play, whatever. We just didn't play. They made more plays, and that's what happened. But we're there, and like I said, that's going to help a ton with recruiting because if the recruits think that in Bloomington, Indiana, there's a possibility they could be playing for a national championship on a regular basis, why not? Why not? If Ohio State's not calling,
Yeah.
if Oregon's not calling, if USC isn't calling you. And even if some of those teams are, why not? The culture there that he has built is something that I think a lot of recruits are attracted to, even though Bloomington, I don't see, a lot of positives about, the life, the party life or whatever the environment may be. It sounds like a really good college town though. So I think that you would still have a really good time as a student athlete being on that campus.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, it's the Hoosiers,
Yeah, it's the
you
Hoosiers.
know?
I mean, it's the Hoosiers. I mean, that's pretty much all you have to say, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it could be, an attractive place for five-star recruits to be going in the future if, especially if they can do something special in this game.
Yeah. So that's big time. But they took care of business, and Ohio State did as well. The Iron Bowl game, again, this one the scoreboard says 27-20. But again, it just didn't feel like Auburn really had a lot of. I mean, they had a chance. I'm not gonna say they didn't have a chance. It just never felt like they were in control or had, or were imposing their will.
Yeah, no, I didn't really feel like it. I mean, the backup for Auburn there that, took over for Jackson Arnold,
Ashton Daniels,
Daniels, he,
baby,
he played. Yeah, he's playing really well.
he could be something.
He wasn't the most efficient, thrown, but he could be something. Yeah, the way that he was efficient on the ground too.
Oop,
He went 18 of 39 for 259 and a touchdown, and then 23 carries and 108 yards on the ground. I mean, this guy, he could be something. He could be something.
big blocked punt, baby. That's Georgia football.
Man, you're a little ahead of me.
It's the first big play of the game, baby.
Big time.
Yeah, setting them up. Good field position there for the Dogs, and Kalen
Can
DeBoer
Georgia move
chunked.
up to number two?
They could. I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised if the loser of the Big Ten game would drop to 3. That wouldn't shock me because SEC. That wouldn't shock me, and it also depends on how good of a game
Well,
it is.
I think if Ohio State loses,
Then they will. Yeah, they wouldn't. No, yeah. If they lose, then they
Georgia's
wouldn't.
Georgia's still number
Yeah,
three.
correct. That's the only. You are right.
But if Indiana loses, I think Georgia can be number two.
Yeah. Um, but that's not gonna happen, so we don't have to worry about that. uh, BYU beat UCF. Winner, chicken dinner. No news there. Miami put the beat down on Pittsburgh, baby, and that was a good win for Miami, and they needed to do that. They were trying to pile on the points late, a la BCS computer rankings theory there, trying to show that they belong. They do have the head-to-head win against Notre Dame. Both of those teams do have 2 losses. Of course, Notre Dame's is A&M and Miami, and Miami's is Louisville and oh hell, I can't even freaking remember. Louisville's the bad one though. They have a good loss on there somewhere. Um, but both of those teams uh, are in the conversation here for picking up a spot for the ACC. They lost to SMU. That was the other loss. Both not great losses. But they have the head-to-head against Notre Dame. The thing I was talking to Zach about earlier was I heard this morning on ESPN some lady was like they're not taking that into consideration when considering which team should be in because like I said Notre Dame has better losses than Miami, but Miami beat them head to head. What are your thoughts on
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I mean, I think Notre Dame has looked better as the season's gone on, though,
Yeah.
and Miami really hasn't. I think Notre Dame's improved a lot more, and I think that's obvious. I mean, it's an early season loss, and everybody knows you'd rather lose early than lose late. Um, So I think I personally would still have Notre Dame over Miami in those rankings. Um, I just think that Notre Dame has improved and CJ Carr has improved to a level that I think if they played on a neutral field today, Notre Dame beats them.
Yeah, I mean, I just, for me, it's just one of those things where I don't really, in this particular instance, I don't really care how good Notre Dame's losses are. Like, I get it, they're like both at the time top 10 teams, right? Like, at the time, Miami was top 10, at the
Yeah.
time, Texas A&M top 10. But if you want to take that theory and go down the schedules of both of those teams at the time, SMU was ranked. At the time, Louisville was ranked. Even though those losses right now look bad, both of those teams were in the top 25 when Miami lost to them. I know they're not now, and I know that again, it's like my Oregon Ducks against Penn State. That win doesn't look as good as it did, but at the time, that's a top 5 team that we beat. You know what I'm saying? If you want to play that game, then why isn't all these scenarios equally as important? You know what I'm saying?
Uh, I don't know. I think it's just because it's early. It's an
Yeah.
early season loss.
Well, I mean, we'll see what
I mean,
happens.
if Miami had beat Notre Dame, last week, it's
Yeah,
different.
yeah. But again, I feel the same way about Miami though. They're playing really good football, and they've been a little more consistent in my opinion. And I just think that Malachi Tony and Carson Beck deserve to be there. TJ Carr didn't do anything for me. I mean, I love Jeremiah Love, but it's just I just feel like if you, all you, I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like if they played again today, yes, I think Notre Dame would be favored 100%.
Well, I mean, they were favored to begin with. I mean, I truly think they would win.
Yeah,
That's the real question. Do you think they would win?
I wouldn't be rooting for them to win, but I mean, I don't know. I think it would be the same as I mean, that loss was not a blowout win for Miami. It wasn't like they blew them out.
No,
I mean, I mean, it
no,
was
no,
20. It
not
was
at all.
27-24. It probably would be the same type of game, in my opinion. I feel like those teams are very similar, and so I think, like you said, if the committee wants to put Notre Dame's losses, yeah, and being like, oh, they're so good, the losses, if that's the thing, and you look at Miami and go, SMU and Louisville are not great losses, are definitely not on the same level as Miami and Texas A&M in Notre Dame's case, and hold that above, the eye test or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like Miami deserves to be there. They're in right now. They deserve to be there. I know Notre Dame is also in right now as far as like, the rankings go. I just feel like I don't know. I just maybe I'm just shilling because I want my national championship pick to like be in, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're gonna get in.
I probably not. It's probably the Golden Domers. You're probably right. Put Vandy in. Fuck it. Um, they wanted to
JMU
play.
and Tulane in.
They wanted to play an exhibition game to try to boost their resume. I like it. Be aggressive. Because be aggressive. Um, but speaking of, they beat Tennessee 45-24. The Commodores capping off their season at 10-2 as well. Not really in the college football playoff conversation. They would love to be. A lot of people think they deserve to be as well. But I mean, Zach, is there any argument for Vandy being over any teams like JMU, Notre Dame, or Miami? I mean, their losses are Alabama and Texas. It's not like their losses are bad either. Do they have a better case than Miami to be over Notre Dame?
I do think so.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going by the metrics we were just discussing, they have to be.
Yeah, and I think Pavia might win the Heisman.
No, I don't know about that.
I mean, he's
The numbers are
he's. Have you
incredible.
seen the odds, man?
I mean, he's right there. I mean,
He's like
he's right there.
he's right there.
He's right there. Him
Because the
him
other,
him him saying and Mendoza are right next to each other. So, big time stuff there. USC beats UCLA 29-10. I couldn't have been more wrong about the trajectory of UCLA season after they beat the crap out of Penn State. I mean, boy, horribly wrong on that. They just
yeah,
they
pretty
just fell
mad.
apart. and I don't really think I can blame Jaden. I can't blame Nico on this. I really can't. I think that there's just not a lot of talent around him.
Well,
He has put up decent numbers, better than I thought he would. I'll be honest. Um, I just think that their defense is horrible, and they just don't have players right now, and they just really need to kind of restructure that whole. The program is just in disarray. I understand Nico leave and go get your money, warmer weather, all that stuff. I get it. I get it. I mean, some kids are like that, and he's still performing at a level where he's on trajectory to be a draftable quarterback in a couple years. I do believe that. Um,
yeah, I don't know about that.
I mean, draftable does not mean and draftable 7 rounds. I mean, he's gonna get someone's gonna pick him up. He's not. He's got the tangibles and he's got the measurements. I think someone will take him. Some team is stupid enough to do it. Don't tell me that there aren't out there. We know it. Virginia Tech snooze fest. Chandler Morris continues to be impressive. I'm rooting hard for Virginia tonight as well. I don't need Duke to win this tonight. I don't. All you James Madison sympathizers can suck my dick. I don't care. Don't care. Don't care. I
Okay, let's get Chandler Morris in the playoffs.
Yeah, they will be. If they win, they're in. It's officially confirmed. They win, they're in, and I want it to happen really badly for him. I think he deserves a shot. So I'm all in for the Cavaliers tonight as well. I'll be double boxed in with them and Ohio State, Indiana. Um,
Yeah, that should be a good one.
yeah, it should be a real good one. Nothing really else to report. That kind of wraps up last week's games. Baylor, might as well have been. BYU got kicked in the teeth again this afternoon against Texas Tech and turned the ball over more than I've seen in a long, long time. 4 turnovers for the game, Zach. Just a horrible performance for the Mormons. And I didn't think that they were going to put up much of a fight again. I just really think Texas Tech is that much better than them specifically. And they just showed up again. I mean, the defense to be honest, Bear Brockmeyer just bad decision making, to be honest. And a couple fumbles were forced, though. That you have to credit the defenders on punching the ball out and stuff. But the interceptions, I'm gonna put more on the shoulders of the quarterback than the defense making plays. They were good one-handed interceptions by the same player, but it was just thrown right at him. It just wasn't good decision making. So I can't really say the defense forced a turnover more than Bear just tried to force it. So I'm not gonna give them their due just yet on that front. But just embarrassing. I love to see it though. I hate BYU with a passion. I just don't think a team with that many white kids deserves to be good. You just don't. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sure.
the only team that does is Iowa. I'll stand by that. Okay, the corn people. You produced Cooper DeJean. You have a pass. You have a pass. You have my blessing.
Oh, yeah.
um.
You forgot to get into the LSU OU game.
No, we're gonna get into it. You have a whole segment to yourself to verberate about this. I just wanted to touch base on what had happened so far today. And of course, last night, North Texas Tulane. What were your thoughts on that, Zach? A lot of OSU fans kind of pulling for their next head coach to win, but now after the result are just thinking he wanted to be here. And there it is, baby! Oh, we almost. Oh, it's gonna be a face mask too. Huge pick. Ty Simpson just threw it right at him. I mean, like he didn't even see Everett. Holy crap! Oh, it was ugly.
I'm about to see it.
Yeah, he's. I'm watching on a black and white TV over here.
Oh, that's bad. Oh, and the face mask.
I mean, it was tipped, but I mean, even if it wasn't, there was a guy right in the lane, and yeah, face mask because offensive people don't tackle, so got to add on bad form tackling from your offensive player. But yeah, no, I mean, what were your
But
thoughts?
yeah, this Tulane game.
Yeah, the Radcliffe look good.
I just think that North Texas they just couldn't stop the run, man, and that's probably good that they're not going to get in the playoff because they probably would have got destroyed in that situation. But we
Oh
got
yeah.
kind of a choice to make here between James Madison Tulane, as far as who the Group of Five team is, I think there's a scenario where two get in. So
There,
they can
there,
both get in,
there
possibly.
is, but the scenario is Duke has to beat Virginia. That's the
Yeah, I think
scenario.
so.
That's the only way that either of those teams are in the conversation, or not either, but both of them. That's the only reason. That's the only way both of them would be in the conversation. Is if Duke were to beat Virginia in the ACC title game. Because James Madison, like you said, took care of business as well. Troy scored first, and it was 14-17 at the half, but that fourth quarter was all James Madison, and that's just kind of how they separated. But as far as the Tulane game goes, do you think the North Texas quarterback is going to come with their head coach? Because they need him.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to happen. I would assume. And Coleman's a really good wide receiver too. I mean, Miles Coleman, just a fantastic performance from him as well. I don't know if he's a senior or not. I know that Hawkins, the running back, was the other guy that Oklahoma State fans were clamoring to come with Coach Olson. So, but yeah, just Tulane just kind of putting themselves firmly in. They are probably going to be what, the 12 seed, is that or are they going to be the 11? Is that what we're looking at right now?
I mean, it would be 11 and 12 for sure.
So I mean, they're gonna get a big boy. You know, they're gonna get somebody that
Yeah.
doesn't get a bye, but they're gonna get somebody that's gonna be a lot better. And you look at Tulane's losses. I mean, they're not. I mean, Ole Miss and UTSA. The UTSA loss by 22 is rough. That's a rough loss to kind of hang your hat on. And like you said, James Madison. I mean, they don't really have a bad resume. Their loss was to Louisville, and at the time, like I said, Louisville was a top 15, top 20 team at the time, and they only lost by 14. But they don't really have a good win, Zach. That's the problem with James Madison. They don't have a real good win.
Here, carry for a second. I'm gonna be right back.
I mean, you look at Tulane though, and Tulane beat Duke. I mean, that's a big win. Obviously, North Texas a big win as well, but that Duke win is better than any win that James Madison has had. I mean, it's just facts. The Duke win is better than any win that James Madison has on their schedule, and that's why Tulane is probably 100% in my opinion. I don't think that there's any argument against the Wave being in the college football playoff. It'll just depend on what seed they get. I think they are pretty much locked in. Like we said, though, if Duke beats Virginia, which is possible. I mean, again, we talk about Duke being a 5-loss team, and you know, it's like, well, you know, that should lend to Virginia just, you know, rolling, and that's just not the case. You look at the Blue Devils and you look at their losses. It's like Illinois ranked, Tulane, you know, ranked, Georgia Tech ranked, UConn, that's a bad one, but Virginia ranked. So I mean, and the last time they played Virginia, they lost by 17. So a lot of people are just thinking that Virginia is going to go ahead and do the same thing again, which I don't blame you for thinking that. But out of all the losses that Duke has, they are quality losses. If we want to play the quality loss game with all of these fucking teams, then we have to play it with Duke too. I'm not saying Duke's gonna get in. I don't think a 5-loss team deserves to be in. I'm not saying that. Don't get it twisted. I'm just saying if you want to play the game where it's like, oh, quality losses, just, you know, if you want to do that, then you have to look at Duke as a team that Virginia isn't just going to be expected to steamroll. Yeah, you lost. You lost to them by 17. It was ugly, right? We've seen Virginia be better than Duke already this season. It should be more of the same tonight. I'm hoping personally that it is, because I think that, you know, that eliminates the fact that two group of five, you know, group of 5 schools is going to get in. I don't think that it's going to be a walk in the park tonight. I think that game might be better than the Indiana-Ohio State game, which is why you got to you have to have a double box. You have to have the Big Ten and ACC championship double box if you've got YouTube TV or whatever. You just have to. You have to. But but Zach, I was saying that Duke's losses are all to ranked teams except for their loss to oh God, I just had it on here. Uh, they they had all their losses were to like Louisville, Illinois, Tulane. UConn was the only one that wasn't a ranked loss, but that UConn team is not bad either. And they only lost by 3. They shouldn't have. I'm not saying they should have, but I was saying if you want to play the quality loss game, it's not supposed to be a walk in the park for Virginia. I know they already beat Duke by 17 earlier this year, but again, Duke's just not a bad team. They just have a lot of quality losses against ranked. They just don't play well against ranked teams. I guess that's the disease they have, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna matter.
No, I'm not saying.
The
Like I said, I'm
season.
not saying they're gonna get in. I'm just saying like that game might be better than the Big Ten game as far as like competitive wise. It could be the game of the
Might
night.
be.
It could be, even though you see that big gap from their previous meeting. I mean, it's a different animal when it comes to neutral site games. It's just a different animal. So we'll have to see how that kind of pans out. Um, but Zach, like you were saying, your OU Sooners last home game of the year, LSU coming to town. Uh, New quarterback for LSU the last couple of weeks. Nussmeier being benched. He's not hurt. He's benched. And it was it was an interesting game. Me and you were in attendance for this. Do you want to kind of break down kind of how you thought the game went? Obviously, happy with the result, but how did you feel overall about your Sooners and how they played?
I mean, I thought the offense stalled a lot. Obviously, material 3 interceptions. Did not look good whatsoever. Only put up 17 points, but the defense is so good that they only allowed 13. Satania had 9 catches for 121 yards. Obviously, had the huge touchdown at the end to take the lead. I mean, the offense just isn't up to par, man. It's just not there. And I mean, I will say it was a hell of an environment
Oh yeah,
in the stadium that day. I mean, we obviously had like a playoff appearance on the line there,
yeah,
and just the way that the game was kind of back and forth, just led to some tension. Obviously there was some um, there was a little roughhousing involved in some areas,
yeah,
but it was a great game. And I mean, my voice was out for like 2 days
yeah.
after that
Yeah,
game. I mean, it was crazy.
yeah. It was wild. It was wild. Well, I mean, so like you said, John Mateer, not a great game box score wise. A lot of turnovers for him. Um, but didn't throw a pick six on that first interception, which led to the pick the previous play, the next play right after that, which huge play there for the defense, not allowing a early touchdown for the Tigers. But you guys get it done in ugly ways. Brent Venables says it himself all the time in his pressers. He goes, "It doesn't matter how good the win looks as long as it's a win." And I think, for fans, obviously you guys would prefer it be, prettier, because, that way you're not sweating it out all the damn time. But I think, when you think about it from a football coach's perspective, it's just trying to get to the next one, right? So, I mean, I get from his perspective being
Yeah.
like, I don't give a damn if we win by 1 point and it's because and the score is 3-2. He doesn't care. He doesn't care if it's an ugly game for 4 quarters. And he just wants that W. And I think a lot of these newer coaches and stuff like that have to kind of struggle with a different kind of mentality, because I think that that's such an old school way of thinking now. I think a lot of these coaches are looking for more aesthetically pleasing victories for their own egos. I don't think it's necessity, but I think that they want it to look good. Like, they don't want there to be a debate about how good they are because of the scores, because that's the kind of hate you're getting right now, right? These national media members are going, well, they're scraping by these teams that aren't even good, and their offense is so
The defense,
abysmal.
though.
Yeah, and it's like, but the defense is so good that it doesn't matter. It's this what, the 2000 Ravens. Like, I mean, like it's so similar to some of these teams from the past that have just had god awful, just not great quarterbacks, not great wide receivers. Like that, I mean, It's all about hinging it on the defensive side of the football and being able to turn the other team over and being able to keep their stars in check. And the defense has done that every single game. Even in the losses, it hasn't been the defense's fault that you guys have lost those games. It's been the offensive production. And that's what I think the committee, not the committee worrying of, but I think that the hate that you guys are getting and the disrespect because of the lack of offensive production season, like in the season as a whole, and just kind of the expectations of John Mateer and then the reality of what's happened this season. He's not playing Portland State anymore. I mean, the wide receivers are not going to have 10-yard cushions around them all the time, but OU fans are like, yeah, but he's missing those guys. Like, you understand? He's missing those guys. And we just need the John Mateer that can hit those passes because he's not even doing that. And that's concerning to you for sure. I know that. And I think that, as far as whoever they're playing, that's going to be an emphasis for them as well, is being able to focus on trying to create an environment where that continues.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's easily flustered by a solid pressure. So I think if you get a team like, I mean, with Alabama, it's tricky because we've beat them already, and like we've beat them a couple times now. But a team like Notre Dame, or and then a team like Ohio State after that, just the amount of pressure that they'll be able to get on John Mateer, it's going to make it really hard for us to be able to score. And we're going to be relying on the defense as we have been, the last couple of weeks. I mean, we've been relying on the defense for the Alabama win, Missouri win, and the LSU win, and it just hasn't been very pretty at all. But I don't see any reason why we couldn't, get an ugly win against another Alabama game, or another ugly win against a Notre Dame. So I think this team could, win a playoff game. I just don't see them beating Ohio State though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different animal because a lot of people think Ohio State still has a better defense than you guys, even though by the metrics you guys have the best.
And they might.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like, talent-wise, they might. I mean, but the thing is the level of competition has been so drastic, and that's always been the discussion between Big Ten and SEC advocates. Is like the SEC is just so much tougher. So if you're the best defense in the SEC, you would be miles better than the best defense in most conferences in the country. And I think that the only competition you guys realistically have is probably Tech. And it's just because they turn people over so much and they've got such a good front seven. And you guys have such a good overall just like balanced team. I feel like when you talk about Texas Tech, their secondary is their weak point. For you, there's not really a weak point. It's more of you have probably one player in each level that's not elite, but the rest of them are, and that makes the defense as a whole look better. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I just, there's so much talent on that state defense, and I wish that honestly, if we maybe could have got BYU to beat Tech here, maybe we could have got Tech to slide down to number 9 or maybe number 8, and we could have played them.
Yeah.
I think that would be a really fun matchup.
Oh, I would love it. The fact that I was at that 2008 game, I mean, I'll never forget that the rest of my life. And so for nostalgia's sake, I think that would be a great matchup. And even if and now you're looking at that being a possible second round matchup because of their victory today. They're guaranteed a top 4 seed, so they're going to get a bye. So I would hope the committee would have some fun and kind of entertain that, because I think that you could win that game too. Like for you at least, like that you could win that game, because the thing about Texas Tech is everybody talks about how good they have been in the Big 12 as far as overall as a team, but really again it's been Jacob Rodriguez in that defense that has been able to create the turnovers and the stops, and Baron Morton and Cameron Dickey are a good 1-2 punch. And the one game they lost, Morton was hurt, and the backup was in, and he's not bad either, but he's no Baron Morton as far as, being able to command that offense. But their offense in general, in my opinion, it's not fantastic. You know what I'm saying? Like, the numbers are really good, but the Big 12 is not a great conference, and you're not playing great defenses every week in the Big 12, and the concepts that they're running, they're not innovative. They're not special. It's getting guys that have really good open space abilities and getting them out in that open space and giving them the football. That's that whole offense is predicated on getting the ball. Like, it's not even predicated about Bear Morton being a good quarterback, Zach. It's not even about him being a good quarterback. It's about him getting the ball out quickly to guys that can make people miss. That's their whole entire offense. And you guys have stopped offenses like that all year long. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I think our defense would be able to handle that pretty easily. It's just a question of if our offense can handle Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah. And that's, and that's a problem because he's not. I mean, John Roberts right next to him is great too. I mean, they again, their front seven is probably one of the best in the country. And the only thing that makes me hesitant is just the competition they've played. You know what I'm saying? I just want them to play somebody that's like if they had Texas on their schedule this year instead of Texas A&M having Texas, which obviously would be an out of conference thing. But like, let's just play what ifs because SEC fans love to do that anyways. But like, hypothetical game here. I want to see that, like, because I feel like that would be a good test because Texas is not fantastic, but they are good enough to do something. I just think like if that had been the case, if they had a game like that on their schedule that I felt really good about, I just don't. I look at Texas Tech and I look at, like I said, the defenses, the numbers and everything, they line up and they beat everybody they're supposed to. But like, where am I supposed to hang my hat on if I'm Tech? You can't look at BYU and go, I'm hanging my hat on that. 2 wins against BYU. That's what I'm hanging my hat on. That's it. I've got nothing else to show for it. Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Kent State, Oregon State. What, you want to talk about Utah? Utah's not as good as we thought they were going to be. Houston, get out of here. Kansas, I mean, yo, lost to Arizona State with your backup. I get it. And we saw Arizona State not as good as they were supposed to be. But again, people are factoring in no Bear Morton, so I get that. You kill Oklahoma State, who didn't. Kansas State, not as good as we thought they were going to be. UCF and West Virginia, where am I supposed to be impressed? Oh my God, you put numbers up against these teams. I just don't know what to say. Like, I just don't know as far as their offensive abilities. I don't think there's anything solid you can say about Texas Tech. I really don't.
I mean, it's just their defense.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But again, you look at that schedule, Zach. But you look at their defense, and you look at their stats, and yeah, it's impressive. But who the fuck have they played, Zach? What offense is scary? Kansas State's offense is scary. UCF. Oh, Dan Pierce running a bootleg again for Utah. Wasn't a problem. You beat them by 24.
I mean, Oklahoma State, they're kind of scary, right?
Yeah, scary. Scary. Yeah, shut them out too. That's impressive. I mean, that's the problem I have. It's like, because the thing is people want to be like, well, look what they did to BYU twice, and it's like, yeah, but it's like, how good is BYU? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the Big 12 is such a mess, Zach, that we're lifting Texas Tech up against people that, again, I think are all mid. There's nothing great about this BYU team. They don't have a good win on their schedule either. You know why? Because they play in the Big 12 and their non-conference games are East Carolina, Stanford, and Portland State. Okay? Like, they didn't play anybody else other than Utah and Texas Tech, and they lost 2 out of the 3. Okay? That's how that went. BYU is not a great team. They're gonna be in like the Fiesta Bowl or some shit, some former prestigious bowl. Before the playoff starts, they'll get maybe the Pop-Tarts Bowl or something. I'd like to see them play Texas. F it. Who cares? But I think that you look at Texas Tech, they might be the most overinflated team in the college football playoff. I mean, they could be.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I definitely don't think they're top 5.
All right, I'll give you that.
They're gonna be, but they're gonna be.
Yeah, no, they're gonna be. They've played their way into a top 5. That's been established. I'm just saying they're weak. They are weak. Like, I think James Madison could take them. I mean,
whoa.
I mean, I do. You know why I say that? Because James Madison.
You don't believe that? James
Madison has a better win on their schedule than they do. No, I'm kidding. They don't. I'm lying. But I mean, look, I think Tulane can give them a run for their money. But the thing is, they don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to worry because they're having a bye, is what I'm saying. Whoever they get, though, could kill them. I'm not even joking. Whoever they get could absolutely rake them over the coals. I don't care who it is. Like, who couldn't? You're telling me Ole Miss couldn't beat the hell out of them? Chambliss would wreck them. I'm telling you, it would be a problem. Stribling's been playing fantastic for them, and if you're talking about your secondary being the weakest aspect of your defense, I mean, talk about a former Oklahoma State Cowboy that can get up the field. Deron Stribling can fly, my man, and Chambliss has been balling. So I don't doubt that they could do it. I don't doubt that OU could do it because their defense is so good. I think they would choke that offense out. Could you handle a front seven? Yeah, but I think you would have to have Burks or somebody step up in your wide receiving core to have a good game because you have to exploit that secondary. You freaking have to. You don't even get me started on if Notre Dame could. Notre Dame would probably kill them because Jeremiah Love would probably be stuffed. But CJ Carr can whiz the ball better than almost any quarterback you've seen all season. I mean, Dampier's not a throwing quarterback, and we know Brockmeyer's not. He was projected to have 40 yards of rushing yards today, and he got -2 because he got sacked 9 million times. Because that offensive line for BYU couldn't handle that front seven. If you don't have an offensive line, you'll lose to Tech. I'll say it. That could be concerning for you, but for the other teams I'm mentioning, like a Virginia could hang. I think a Virginia could hang. I mean, I don't know if they would win, but I feel like they could at least be competitive with Texas Tech. I don't have a problem saying that because of the way that the schedules look. I mean, they beat Louisville. They beat, they beat Duke by 17.
I mean, I think the problem is that, like, it's besides the Arizona State game, which they had their backup.
Yeah.
Tech has been blowing people out, man. They've been blowing all of these teams out.
But they're not good teams. That's what I'm saying. They're mid. Kansas State is mid.
Yeah, but they're still doing. But they're blowing them out.
Like UCF is terrible.
Yeah.
West Virginia? Are you kidding me?
But you can't look at the schedule and say that's not a top 4 schedule. Or not
Why
schedule,
not? The Big
4,
12 is horrible. The Big 12 is awful.
Yeah, but they can't just admit that.
Every team in the Big 12 other than Tech underachieved. That's true. It's true.
I don't know if Oklahoma State underachieved.
They did. Well, they didn't win a conference game, and people were projecting at least 3.5 wins. That didn't happen. The line was 3.5. The line was 3.5.
1 and 11.
Yeah, they underachieved. According to Vegas, underachieved. I mean, Kansas State underachieved. Iowa State underachieved. Arizona State underachieved. Arizona completely fell off the map. I mean, teams that we thought going into the season were going to be contending for the Big 12 title are just non-existent, and some of them aren't even bowl teams. That is the most underachieving conference in the country. The ACC is better than the Big 12 because at least you only had a couple teams that were bad. Florida State and Clemson, who we thought was going to be decent, they ended up being mid, if not, below that. But at least you still had, like we thought, 2 teams that were going to be good. We didn't know which 2 teams they were going to be, but we knew 2 teams from the ACC were going to be good. I mean, and going into the season, we thought there was going to be like 4 Big 12 teams that did, and that didn't happen. So I'm going to say it. The Big 12 is literally the worst of the Power 4 conferences. They are. They're the worst. And it doesn't impress me that Texas Tech gave that conference a ride when they paid the most for their roster. I'm sorry. You paid the most for your roster in the whole entire conference, and you beat everybody except for the one team you didn't have your starting quarterback in. And that team won the Big 12 title last year. So you can't sit here and tell me that it was an unexpected result, okay? As far as, as far as where Texas Tech is right now, I don't know. Considering what those teams turned into, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just bad. It's bad.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't want it. I don't want it to be true. I don't want it to be true, but they'll be number 4 in the rankings. Right? They're the number 4 team. They'll have a bye. The tortilla throwers will be happy with it. That's just reality. Hey, guess what? You want to know something, Zach? The Thunder are 22-1. The Thunder are 22-1.
22-1. Mavericks last night, 132 to 111.
It was a stomping.
I mean, Anthony Davis just couldn't get anything. I mean, we were destroying them. It
2
it
points.
was not a good look.
No points in the first
SGA had,
half.
I think, SGA had 33 points.
Yeah, in 3 quarters.
He's just doing his thing.
In 3 quarters.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is people want to give SGA like a bunch of crap, because but the thing for being a free throw merchant, which isn't true. And the problem is I think, and I'm not exaggerating, Zach, he might be the best player since Michael Jordan. He might be. He might be. Because
he has to do a couple more things.
He does.
He'll never be better than LeBron.
No. I mean, well,
LeBron's the best player ever.
I did. Yeah, you pump the brakes on that, boy. I still think Michael's the GOAT. But I think as far as like, and I'm not saying that LeBron won't be considered better than SGA because of like his physical abilities and like his overall probably like titles and everything. I don't know if SGA has
50,000 points.
Yeah, I mean like there's
titles,
and the fact that he was in the league when he was like 18, like no one can do that anymore. So he already has a head start on like all of these guys now, at least by a season. So I mean like, and just the longevity as well. Like you're in the league 20-something years. I mean it's something a lot of players won't even be able to do. We understand that. So statistically and stuff like that, I feel like you're right. But I feel like I've never seen like did LeBron ever sit this many fourth quarters for any team he's played on? I just don't think he's had the teammates around him to do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't had a team this dominant surrounding him to do stuff like this.
The last guy that sat this many fourth quarters is Steph Curry.
That makes sense though, and that was what that was the 73 win year. That had to have been the 73 win year.
Yeah.
Because they were killing people when that was happening. They were. I mean, how could they not? That team was so stacked. But this team is better than that team, which is amazing to even say. Like I can't believe I'm speaking those words out of my mouth. Like they are better. Like they would kill that team because the defense is so suffocating. I mean, it's just in there. And the thing is especially now because the refs, I believe, and I don't think we can debate this. They're letting us play a little bit. Because of our reputation. They're letting us be a little more physical than they probably should due to our reputation and pedigree now. And as an Oklahoma City Thunder fan, I have to say people aren't wrong about that, but get over it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not wrong about it, but get over it. Like I mean it's happening. And the thing is when you're on pace for 77 wins right now and projected 74 by a measurement that was on par with where after the Warriors had started 24-0 back when they won 73 games, that same metric was used at the time and predicted they would win 73, and they did. So that same metric is predicting us to win 74. So that's probably more likely than 77, which would be incredible. But we're on pace right now for 81-1. So I mean, I'm just that's the mentality I'm having right now, and I think that again, Mark Daigneault does such a good job shaping the minds of these young men, Zach, into not caring about that stuff. They approach every game as one singular event, and that is so hard to do for established players in the league because they've been around so long that getting their brains molded into trying to think that way is almost impossible. But because our team is so young, we've been able to literally shape the minds of these underdeveloped brains. Because remember, your brain is not fully developed until 25. And that's like literally our whole entire team. So we have been able to literally shape the mental preparation of these kids into being resistant to caring about that. And this is not just the starting 5. It's not just the starting 10. It's the whole entire organization as a whole, Zach. Approaches each individual game as its own entity. And no other team can do that.
Yeah. Every week is 0-0.
And the thing is those players believe it. And the thing is, they've been in the routine of believing it for 2 straight seasons. And when you do something and it leads to success, you're not going to stop doing that. And your brain is going to reward you, subconsciously by continuing to give you the ability to feel that way. I mean, that's just science. That's just science. That's just some Pavlov's dog. The ringing of the bell is the NBA is Larry O'Brien. That's the ringing of the bell for them. That's their bell. They're not gonna that's the only thing they care about. They're not gonna approach that food. They're not gonna whine for that food until you ring that bell. And the bell is Larry O'Brien. The bell is Larry O'Brien. It's just facts. And the fact that they've been able to do this is literally only because Sam Presti is a genius. That's the only way they've been able to do it. Because if he doesn't make the right picks and doesn't bring the right talent into this organization to give us the success we are having now and to be able to shape that, then this whole entire thing is just void. It would never exist.
Yeah, he's the greatest GM in the history of sports.
He's giving Krause a run for his money. That's for damn sure. He's gonna have a good chance of doing that. And
I think so.
I really do. And the fact that the Clippers are playing so bad. Oh, I mean, if we get a top 6 pick, it's done. It's done. Can you imagine Boozer on this team? Get the hell out of here. I mean,
Bill Peterson. I mean,
this is literally a draft where if you have a top 7 pick, you've got somebody that can be a franchise guy. If we get a hold of somebody like that,
for the league.
It's. I mean. And you know it's trouble in paradise. We've heard it's trouble in paradise out there. We know it is. I mean, you disrespect Chris Paul in the most egregious way I can ever think of. And I told somebody this, and I don't know if you think this is a possibility, and I could be talking out of my ass here because I know nothing. But could we file for like an emergency injury grievance for Topic and like bring him in? Because we technically don't have a roster spot, and I know he's on IR, but I mean, you could say technically that's, warranted. That's the only path I see, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just saying, like,
I don't know,
I mean, if that's a path, I would strongly consider it, because if we could give Chris Paul a ring while also doing what we're doing without even having him really set any credible time on the floor, I mean, we would be basketball Jesus, right?
Nice.
We'd be basketball Jesus, because we would give the one thing that everybody's saying Chris Paul is missing from his legacy, right? And we would also be continuing to stamp our foot in our legacy while also paying homage to the man who probably brought this team to fruition in the first place by the Hornets having to be relocated here because of Katrina. It would be such a full circle moment. It would almost be movie-esque. And that's why I think it won't happen, because it would just be too awesome. Like, it would be too awesome. You know what I'm saying? You know it's true.
Yeah, it won't happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why it won't happen, because it's just too awesome. But it would be too incredible. So it won't happen. But the Clippers are just in shambles, and I don't think they're gonna have a good year. A lot of people think they could turn that thing around. I don't think they can. I think it's bad out there. I don't know why Kawhi Leonard is like the worst superstar ever. I mean, he's so good when he's on the floor, but he's never on the floor. I just don't understand.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a disaster. You bring Paul George back. Congratulations. I'm not helping you out at all there. I mean, am I right about that? That's who he plays for now, right?
Paul George, he's on the Sixers now. I mean,
yeah. Who am I? James Harden. I'm thinking about James Harden.
And the Clippers, man, that's all they have is James Harden, and he's dropping like 50 balls right now.
Yeah, he's turned back the clock at the worst possible time. He's turned back the clock when it matters the least.
I'm saying, like, the league is pretty much in James Harden's hands, because if OKC gets one of these top 6 picks,
it's donezo.
I mean, I'll love it.
I mean, and here's the thing, and that would just be one of our 4 first-round picks, anyways. I mean, that's the other thing, is it's like, and the thing is even if we don't get a top 10 pick this year, 4 picks in the first round, I mean, with 4 first-round picks, we've seen what we've been able to do with second-round picks. Why should we even be scared? You know what I'm saying? There's no reason to even worry, even if we don't get it, because Sam is just so good. You know, at least 2 out of those 4 are going to pan out to at least take the positions of a Caruso or a Dort. You know what I'm saying, on this roster? Because a lot of people think we're going to have to get rid of Lou. Are you in that camp?
I think it's Hartenstein that we'll end up getting rid of.
Well, especially if we can draft the kid from BYU, for sure. And with Sober also being on the roster still, we forget about him because he's hurt this whole entire season. We do have enough big men. And Carlson's not bad either. He's turning out to be a good little role guy too. That corner three is looking nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We have plenty of depth. So I mean, even if Lou is one of those guys, you got Jason Wallace, Alex Caruso, it's all there.
Yeah, I mean we have guys where if we need to cut the fat off of here, we're just replacing him with guys that are potentially even better than them that will be content with filling the same role because we've instilled that culture. I mean that's the thing. It's like we draft these guys and I feel like Sam like do they get to interview these guys, right? Like the NFL does. Do they get to interview these guys?
Mhm.
Like so like when he brings
Yeah.
them in, you know that he's picking guys that don't care if they start or not. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't give a crap. They know how this organization is ran. They know what we expect from them as a player, as being part of our organization. And they know that it's all about a collective effort and a collective hive mind kind of mindset. And Sam picking those type of guys has not really led him astray very often.
100%.
I mean, you have a couple
I mean, so we're
misses.
almost
Everybody
not
does.
really.
I mean, the only one I can think of is Poku.
It's not even a miss in my opinion. He
I mean,
just
he's yeah. I mean, I don't know. You're not technically wrong, but is he even getting minutes now? I think he's still hurt again. Isn't he?
he's playing in another league.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that considered a bad pick? I mean, Mitch McGary, the biggest miss. Mitch McGary, biggest miss.
Yeah,
That's a big one.
wasn't great.
Well, Cole Aldridge, big miss on that too, right?
So I mean, we're almost at halftime here with Georgia and Alabama in the SEC championship game. Georgia's up 14-0 with the ball. What have you thought so far here?
I mean, everybody was talking about how Alabama had Georgia's number going into this and had Kirby Smart's number going into this. And as much as I rooted for Alabama to win that game during the regular season, because right now we need Georgia to win this, and because I thought even preseason that Georgia was a better team than Alabama, I just it's just coming to fruition again. I just think that Georgia has a better team, and I think that's what we're seeing right now. And Alabama, they played a really good game against Georgia the first time, but I mean, I just think it's a different animal. Again, neutral site, different animal.
Yeah. So, do you want to get into the sports book here? We
Yeah,
only got like 3 games we can really
yeah,
choose from.
let's talk. Do we have any NFL shakeups happening? We have that's the only thing we have left on the docket other than sports. Look, I don't know if we have anything other than Baltimore moving back in front of Pittsburgh in the AFC North. They're kind of on a streak here. Are you believing
Yeah,
again that they're possibly contenders
I think they're
again?
going to win the division. I think they're going to win the division. I just don't know if they're true contenders. I think if you have Lamar Jackson, you have a chance, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, he's always going to give you a chance. No, you're right about that. You're right about that. I mean,
That's what I
and
think.
well,
But other than that, I mean,
yeah, I think their biggest competition is the Bengals with Joe Burrow being back. I think that's the only thing they got to worry about.
yeah,
But I mean, they would have to literally win six straight to even be 2 games over 500. So the pressure's on the Bengals. They lose one game, it doesn't matter. Is what I'm saying. They got to win out. If the Bengals win out, that's the only way I feel like they would even be close to scaring the Ravens because I don't believe that Cleveland or Pittsburgh is going to be in the conversation here in a couple weeks. Um,
yeah, yeah. I think you're right.
What are your thoughts on the Broncos, man? 10-2, Bo Nix balling out. I mean, is
I
the
would not say
AFC
Bo Nix
West
is balling out,
bad?
man. He's yes, yeah. AFC West is bad. I mean, Cowboys might have knocked out the Chiefs,
Yeah,
on Thanksgiving. You might have knocked the Chiefs out of the playoffs there. I mean, that's nasty.
it is nasty.
Um, but when I'm looking, yeah, Broncos in the AFC could definitely be a team. Patriots are definitely a team I can see coming out of the AFC. Um, but I think it's pretty obvious that an NFC team's going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I
When
mean,
we're looking at teams like the Rams, who didn't have a great week against Carolina, but that's not going to matter. They're still an amazing team. Matt Stafford has like 29 touchdowns to like 4 interceptions.
well, and if anything,
Um,
it helped Carolina get closer to Tampa in their division.
yeah, that too. I look at the Seahawks as a team that could be a team that might win the Super Bowl. Then you obviously have other contenders in the NFC like the Lions, classic.
Yeah, and they're third right
The
now
Packers.
in the NFC North. I mean, behind the Packers and Bears, the Bears leading NFC
The
North.
Bears,
Yeah.
man.
What is going on with Ben Johnson and the
They
Bears?
Ben Johnson's got them balling, so I could see them being a team that could threaten in the NFC too. I mean, that's NFC. The NFL is really wide open this year.
And it's
I
interesting
think the
because
parity's
going
at an
in, we didn't
all-time
think
high.
that. Yeah, going in, that was not the impression.
Yeah, no, but the parity's just doesn't at an all-time high. I mean, we're talking about a possible Sam Darnold Super Bowl MVP.
I mean, yeah, and you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Against a possibly
And I mean,
Drake May led Patriots team. I mean,
yeah, and I'm thinking
yeah.
like MVP this year. I'm probably gonna go Matt Stafford.
I don't think you cannot. I mean, as much as I love Drake May, I think you're right. I think you're right. The numbers are in Stafford's favor, and I think it's one of those things where I feel like he's played well enough in his career to earn it, and I think that Drake May will have more opportunities to do it, and I think that this will be a good thing for him to not get it because it'll give him something to hunt for next season.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So that's kind of my opinion on that. But yeah, no, you're right. The NFL wide open. I mean, we didn't even mention the Bills, and the Bills were like one of the top teams coming into the season. People were picking to win it all, and we haven't even mentioned them because of how dominant the Patriots have been in the AFC East. Like we were. I mean, they're right behind them, but they're they're a lot of games behind. They're behind them, but they're 8-4, 11-2, and 8-4. A big gap there. Not that it can't be made up. I'm not saying that, but I mean, and our schedule has been baby shit soft. I will say that we have not played a lot of good teams yet. But the thing is I don't know if we're really going to get the opportunity to really play a really good team until the playoffs for the rest of the season. The biggest game we have the rest of the way is probably the Ravens and the Bills. Like that's it. We have Ravens and Bills back to back this week and next week, or not this week. Next week, and we have a bye week this week. On the 14th of December, we play the Bills. Then the next week, we play the Ravens right before Christmas. Those are the two toughest games we have left because then we got Jets, Dolphins, Commanders, Vikings. Oh, no, sorry. That's it. That's all we got. We just got the Dolphins after that, and that's it. We have Ravens, Jets, Dolphins, and Bills as our last games. So we should go at the very minimum 2-2, and that would still put us at 13-4. As still top of the AFC East. So I'm not really concerned as far as our positioning going into the playoffs. We'll probably have a bye. But the Bills, they could still be very much a threat. But they're just not consistent enough.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, Josh Allen,
Yeah.
he's Superman.
He is. He is Superman, Buffalo Superman, Josh Allen. All right. That's it. We're heading there. We're going there. Doing it. I'm doing it up. We're heading straight for Sportsbook, brought to you by Ballscape, the best a man can scrape. Sportsbook, baby. Thanksgiving picks.
Kirby Smart's.
We had some good Thanksgiving picks for you. We ate for Thanksgiving. We did things. We made things happen. There's nothing you can tell me about it, all right? Let's start off with Zach. Ole Miss, -7 against Mississippi State. Winner, baby. Winner, chicken dinner. As Ole Miss blows them out. Was not competitive. So the 7 easily covered. Final score 38-19. Rebels. Michigan, +10 against Ohio State. Didn't happen, baby. 18-point loss for the Michigan Wolverines. Oregon, -7 against Washington. Ding, ding. 12-point win for my Ducks. Covering the spread once again. Dan Lanning, we love you. Texas, +2.5 against Texas A&M. Winner, chicken dinner. Straight up. Texas with the 10-point win over the Aggies. The under between LSU and Oklahoma. Ding, ding. We got a winner, baby. Winner, chicken dinner. 36.5 does not hit as the final score. in that one was 17 to 13, 30 points combined for you. So Zach goes 2-0, and his locks of the weekend goes a miraculous 5-1. Eating, yumming them up. Got it done. Over on my side, I took Ole Miss -7, ding ding. Utah -10.5. I kind of squandered that one. That one could have been, but it wasn't. As 10-point win there, half a point loss. Bad beat for me. Didn't get it. Over the 43.5, Ohio State, Michigan. I'm an idiot. That didn't happen. Get crapped on. As again, final score there, 27-9, 36 points. Just outside. Another 8-point loss there. Under the 52.5, Texas A&M and Texas, ding ding, winner there. As that one was a low-scoring affair, 17-27. Miami -7 against Pittsburgh. Get cooked, 38-7. The final, easy, sweat-free win, baby, and that puts me right there at 3-2. So hey, all of us are winners this weekend. Ba-bing, ba-bing. We're coming out on top. We love to see that. So we've got some money to play with here, Zach. We're going to the NFL for picks this week. Big time games throughout the league, as they call it, the league.
See, we're doing the NFL here.
Yeah, out of your 500, you only lost 100, so you got 400 to play with. Give me the rundown, baby.
All right. Well, I mean, so how many are we picking here? 5?
Yeah, we'll do 5. We can do 5. So that'll be 50. What was that? You've got about 80 a game that you could possibly do.
All right, let's do it. Let's start with Seahawks and Falcons.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna take the Seahawks -6.5. I'm gonna throw 150 on that.
150 out the gate on the Seattle Seahawks to cover the 6.5. I like it. I am gonna go for my first pick, and I got 2 losses on here. So I lost 50, 100 as well. So I lost 100 as well. So we're sitting at 400 as well. Okay, so I'm gonna do Baltimore Ravens -6 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Give me 80 on that one. I'm just gonna go 80 all the way down. I'm confident this week.
Love it.
What do you got?
All right. Let me look at the Dolphins and the Jets.
Ooh, an ugly game.
Divisional matchup, ugly game. I'm gonna take the Dolphins -2.5. Give me 50 on that.
All right. Like that. Solid pick there. Dolphins -2.5. I'm gonna go with a game I'm pretty confident in. This one was a really ugly Thursday night game where the Broncos barely won. It won't be barely a win this week. I'm picking Denver Broncos -7.5 against the Raiders. 80 on that one. That's easy.
I like it. So this one I'm going to throw quite a bit on. I'm going to throw another 150 here on the Rams at the Cardinals to win by over 10 points. I got the Rams -10 against the Cardinals.
50. The board.
I have 50 left. I'm going to put 25 each on my next two.
Okay. My third one. My third $80 pick. You know what? This one, the spread is 1.5, and I think it's going to probably be a really good game. But I'm going to go with something you won't see coming. Give me the Jags +1.5. You know what? F it. Give me Jags money line. Jags money line.
Wow. Over
the Colts at home. Give me the Jags at home, making it happen. Trevor Lawrence is balling out right now. The Jags are coming. And I think I'm going to be here for it. So give me that. Your fourth pick, sir.
I'm going to take the Chicago Bears. The spread is 7, but I'm going to take the money line. I'm going to take the Chicago Bears money line against the Packers. 25 on that.
All right. I like it. +260 over the Pack. They're playing really good football. And you know what? F it. I'll join you. Give me 80 on the Bears. I like them. They're hot. They're a wagon right now. Give me the wagon. I like the wagon. Zach, what you got? Last pick.
Last pick. I'm going to go ahead and take the Cleveland Browns money line against Tennessee.
Ooh. Shadir Sanders starting again. If you were going to have a good game, this would be the one. And that right there, 400 to win 14 grand, baby. That's what Zach's giving you.
Easy.
And the thing is I believe him. It's easy. But there you go. My last pick. My last 80. I'm going to go with, this is actually going to be, this is going to be a good one. I'm going to go with Bills Bengals, and I'm going to go with the over. I'm going to go over 52.5. Give me points in this one. Joe Burrow on the road at Buffalo in the cold. It's Joey Ice, right? What is it? Icy Joe? What is it? I can't even remember.
It's Icy Joe.
Icy Joe, whatever it is. He's
Joey Ice.
I like it. Give me points. It's only a 6-point spread. It's going to be a high scoring affair. Each team at least scores 28 in this one. Give me 4 touchdowns apiece here and give me the over 52.5, 80 on that one. Zach, any final thoughts here before we head out? We got halftime, 14-0 dogs. Anything else you want to add?
No. I think that's it for me.
All right, hey, we have games coming on tonight. Virginia, and you have the Big Ten with Indiana and Ohio State. So make sure you watch that. We'll be locked in. I'm looking for Mendoza to have a good game, baby. Kurt Cigarettes is going to lead them. I like Indiana tonight. Who do you like tonight? You like Indiana or Ohio State?
I like Ohio State.
What about Virginia, Duke? Who you got?
I got Virginia.
Yeah, go Cavs. Well, that'll do it for us here at the Stoner Sports Radio Podcast, episode 109. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you guys hanging out today, rolling on through, and we will see you for episode 110 as we prep for the college football playoff. We'll know who the matchups are. We'll tell you who's going to win. Don't want to miss it. And for now, remember, good night, Canada. Keep a stick on the ice.